So we have a special award tonight. We were originally, we thought, what are we going to do? Something special besides eat and drink and have fun. And so we thought we would give an award for, we called it a lifetime achievement. A lifetime achievement, it sounds like, you're gone, right? So we didn't mean it that way. We meant like 25 years, the next 25 years, we meant it that way. And so we're going to give a Lifetime Achievement Award to Lee Casper. Now, before we show some clips of Lee, I just want to note one thing. It struck me when thinking about this. I was thinking a little bit about, believe it or not, I was thinking a little bit about Aristotle. I was thinking about Aristotle because Aristotle had this really interesting notion of happiness. For Aristotle, see David Thornburg there, you know this. For Aristotle, happiness was not about pleasure. Happiness was not about sort of the sensual or the immediate. For Aristotle, happiness was about the full life. It was really about the life of completion. For Aristotle, the meaning of happiness was the complete life. In fact, he said to be young, you can never be happy in the Aristotelian sense of happiness, but you needed a sense of completion, right? Maybe somebody would say it's like being in the zone, right? It's the sort of full life. And when I thought about Lee, you see Lee as a sailor. You see Lee as a farmer. You see Lee as a manufacturer. This is all true, by the way. You see Lee as an inventor. He's got patents that are quite well known. You see Lee as I first knew him, as a home builder, a guy who built large parts, northeast Philadelphia and parts of Bucks County in this area. You see Lee as a, put it on in a second, Lee as a shipbuilder. Those of us that know Lee know that he, in his spare time, builds boats. It's like, he once invited me to a warehouse he had in North Philadelphia in Fishtown, and I went in and I opened it up, and there was a boat. He was building a boat, right? I have trouble screwing in a light bulb. He was building a boat. And the boat sailed. If I remember Lee, I actually went on the boat with him. The boat actually worked. Right? It was great in the middle of Kensington to see out of this warehouse, a giant boat emerge and just go down the street. And then there's Lee as an artist, as a sculptor, and as a painter. So I thought about Aristotle when I thought about this, because I thought about the idea of completion, the idea of wholeness, that's really the notion of what happiness is about. So now I guess we'll hear a little bit about why Lee, a little bit more about Lee, and why he wanted to work with us, and then, okay.
I had heard a lot of people over the years talk about how to handle affordable housing and what the solutions might be. And they were all credible and made some sense, but nobody spoke like Jeremy did. I never heard anybody be so concise and direct about what needed to be done, what could be done, and what he intended to do. And I just was so impressed that I was sure that I wanted to be allied with this. When I came to TRF, the land that became available to us almost naturally was the poorest land that you could imagine. There were all kinds of problems with almost every piece that we developed, because that's what somebody or other could afford to offer us. And so I had to learn very quickly how you build on this kind of stuff. And it was very different, and it was an education for me. We found a piece of ground that looked to be perfect for our purposes. It was at that time about a 6-acre parking lot for the city school buses. We had heard that the city was going to move the parking area. Ed Rendell was mayor at the time, and we approached him with the possibility of developing that, and he thought it looked good, and we were able to make it come to pass. Governor Rendell would have to be very proud of it. We think it was one of his better decisions.